Good afternoon. It is another week and of course another edition of your favorite current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name remains the same, Egosa Agbola. It's a delight to have you on this week's edition of the program. I must tell you that we're looking at a very crucial national issue, and it has to do with the need to reposition Nigeria. Some other persons will say the need to reposition Nigeria in the Committee of States. Some other persons will say that Nigeria is a sleeping giant that needs to come alive. From whichever perspective that you look at it, the important thing is that Nigeria must be catapulted to its prime position in Africa, in world affairs. It is 60 Minutes Nigeria, so will center on the relevance to the development of the country. I have in the studio a very distinguished legal practitioner, a man that knows it all when it comes to the legal perspective and whatever. Professor Job Odion. Nice to have you today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Uza.
Okay.
Good afternoon, our viewers at home.
Okay, so we're looking at the need to reposition Nigeria. Only yesterday, President Muhammadu Buhari did something that shocked the nation. It was a minor cabinet reshuffle. 2 ministers were sacked. Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Power. Reshuffle was also announced by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina. The issue is, was it overdue? Was it an answer to the clamor by Nigerians? Or more need to be done? Prof. It is a very wide...
Okay, yeah, it's a wide bridge to discuss a lot.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes.
The need to reposition Nigeria. But the president started on Wednesday rather,
Yes.
with the
sack of the 2 ministers and all that.
Could that be that the president has realized that he needs to reposition Nigeria?
Well, thank you. Let's hope so. Rather belatedly, because he has less than 2 years to do that. So I don't know how much of repositioning he can do within 2 years. But what he needs to give to us by way of repositioning, before I address the issue of the minister, is to ensure that there's a worthy successor. He should allow the best man that can take over from him and get on that seat in a year and a half time.
Okay.
That will be his best legacy to reposition Nigeria. Somebody that he knows will do better than him, and not to force anybody on us again just because it's his party's bidding or his wish. That is the best he can do. Whatever he's doing now for me will be more like panic measures. The harm is done. The 2 ministers are sacked now. Yes, I know we have issue with the power sector. I also know that the agricultural sector may have suffered a knock, especially with the insecurity and the inability of farmers to access their farms across the country, especially in the southern part of this country. But I would have thought that if any minister is to be sacked, it should be the Minister of Defense first and foremost, and those who are in charge of our internal security, internal affairs and all that, because the greatest challenge we have in this country now is insecurity. Security. I won't rejig the service chiefs, and nothing special is coming from this new set of hands. Maybe you should have thought about the ministers in charge of that portfolio, the defense and other paramilitary ministries, to see if there can be some fresh heads, fresh ideas in those departments or ministries, as it were. So if he chose to start with the power and agriculture sector, well, thank God I realized that there's benchmarking for ministers. That is not a pensionable position as he has made it look like. For the first 4 years they were there, and one would have thought that even when he was coming back in second term 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, he would have dropped some of those the baggages that came with him in the first time. But he retained them. Very little or no fresh faces we saw in the ministerial cabinet. I was even surprised that the Agric Minister, Audu Ogbe, a man who knows a veteran, one of the youngest ministers during the Second Republic. As a young man, I grew up to admire him when he was then minister, the youngest minister under Shagari's regime. Then we know he has been recycled over and over.
Yes.
But I think Adobe was doing very much well in that ministry. I could see his brilliant ideas. All the gains, like I said now, the gains that were made during that period was what this new minister has eroded. You won't believe that until yesterday when he was removed, I knew the man's name.
I was shocked too.
As I try to be versatile as I can at my level. I don't even know the Minister of Agriculture.
He's never in the news.
Until yesterday I thought it was one, I don't know, or whatever the name sounds, due apology to him, that we had a Minister of Thought. But you could imagine when everybody was there, Greek as dear as this to our hearts. As dear. Even the power sector, the same thing. Fashola was there. The Fashola thing was like a sing song for everybody.
Yes.
But the man there, I don't even know him too. So is it because they delegated power so much to their departments and MDAs that we didn't hear of them, or because they were not proactive? We don't know. But just to keep this discourse flowing, I think if he chose to remove these ministers as a wake-up call,
yes,
we applaud him. But like I said before, it is a bit belated.
Okay.
I think what you should focus on in the next 1.5 years, I think even less than 1.5 years now, a couple of months from now, a year and some months rather, is to give us a worthy successor.
Yeah, we are going to talk about that worthy successor.
The man that will clean the mess that has been on ground for now. That is
now,
what
when
we
you
look
say
forward
what is successor, Professor Joe Bojo,
Yeah.
does the president have a say? We have INEC.
Yeah, okay, well.
And we have political parties. So does the president have a say
so
in the what is successor?
Before I get quoted out of context,
yes,
when I use the word give us, I'm speaking literally in the sense that it should give us the enabling environment
okay,
for INEC to be independent as it ought to be,
okay,
and for INEC to deploy all the necessary machinery to conduct a free and fair election. That starts with the Electoral Act, which ought to be properly amended, not the half measures we just witnessed a couple of months ago that caused a lot of uproar.
Okay.
The electronic voting that we are all clamoring for should be embedded in our electoral reforms, and the Electoral Act should be amended to reflect that. And the minimal level is the electronic transmission,
okay,
which is still not accepted by the National Assembly and by its humble self. Even the one they claim to have passed now, which is going to be conditional, subject to the NCC's approval or confirmation of network in some areas, that has not been accepted to. I don't think it has gone to its table yet. So we look forward to a perfect electoral act that will provide for electronic transmission, at least the minimal level. That's the minimum we expect from it. And then the INEC should be given the free hand. And then that is done, that is what I mean by giving us. Not that he will literally impose somebody on us, yes, or dictate to us who we should choose. No, give us the platform to decide who will take over from him and improve what they have done. He should not force somebody on us. Yes. So that is what most of them do. They should not force somebody on us, either because of his party leanings, religious leaning, or ethnic or regional leaning.
Yes.
He should give a free and fair election in every place. So even if the opposition party is going to produce somebody better, they can get it. As he got there in 2015 as an opposition person. That is what I mean by giving. Not that he should impose or dictate to us.
I know our viewers would be interested in this question. And there's no other person to answer this question than the eminent professor of law that is our guest today.
Thank you.
Are you proud to be a Nigerian as of today?
Definitely. I can't be more proud to be a Nigerian than I am now, because Nigeria as a country is there, like I said, and our identity is unique. Even when we travel out, we still retain our Nigerian identity. Even the circumstances make you leave this country. For those who go for greener pastures, those who are living now, due to what we have here, but you still live with a Nigerian identity, except you have some other clandestine purposes for which you want to renege or renounce your citizenship, except if it's double citizenship which is allowed. That's the reason why a Nigerian will prefer to be an American without having, then he can have both citizenship retained, or he can decide to renounce Nigerian and become a Briton when he can retain both. So being a Nigerian does not take anything away from you, whether you are here or over there. Yeah, if you are here, you're going to go through a lot of hardship, you go through a lot of stress, as we are going through. We all struggle to survive every day. I would look for a better future for the country. But as a Nigerian, being a Nigerian is endemic. But having to stay in Nigeria is a different thing altogether. Some of us may have left, some of us wish to leave, but it doesn't take away your renouncing your citizenship. It's a very crucial issue.
I was looking at it from another perspective. I know that you're proud to be a Nigerian. But with all that is happening, some Nigerians believe that, the power sector is not working. No steady electricity. no 24-hour electricity, no water supply. Nigerians need to provide their own water, sink boreholes and all that. The roads are not motorable.
Yeah.
Now, to worsen it all, insecurity. You travel with your heart in your mouth. You sleep without your two eyes closed and all of that. So I'm looking at it from that perspective. But you're going to answer that question.
Okay.
After this break, to enable us introduce our next guest, Reposition. Nice to have you back after that break. Just joining us is an analyst of repute, but he prefers to be called by his profession a farmer. Reposition. Nice to have you on the program today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, he represents the youths, and on this program, when he speaks, the youths, they listen because he's one of them. Okay, now, Prof, I was just talking about, yes, the challenges bedeviling Nigeria.
Yes.
It is believed, there's a school of thought, that if we can actually eradicate these challenges, Nigeria will be repositioned. Nigeria will be taken to enviable heights.
Yes.
Regular power supply, water supply, improved welfare, provision of social amenities, improved governance. So, it's gladdening to know that you're proud to be a Nigerian.
Yeah.
But don't you think more should be done?
Yes, thank you. Definitely more should be done.
Yeah.
Of course, this program we cannot even address 1/10 of what needs to be done.
Okay.
So of course, but we just set a template, a blueprint for us to chew upon and to develop further. I think in terms of what you have just highlighted, yes, every sector is in decay. I'm sure you're aware about the doctor strike is still on, and of course my union is threatening strike from now.
That's ASU.
So the system has almost collapsed. I use that word, almost collapsed, if not collapsed. So, but you see, you must point a finger at governance.
Okay.
It's governance. But for me, governance is not just at the federal level.
Yes.
You see, it's not at the federal level. It's the governance at all tiers of government. They've not been up to their bidding. They've not been up to their bidding. If the federal government is not doing as much as the good of power sector, don't forget that power itself is not actually under the exclusive list. It's not mainly for federal alone. Thank God the state government is doing something on its own now to generate powers. If other state governments have done like what the state is doing, what other states have done like Lagos and yes, you can generate powers for your state. Okay. And you charge and make money from it because it's not exclusive to the federal government.
Yes.
You can, of course, we know that transmission yes is controlled by federal government generation, but distribution is exclusive. It's not exclusive. So education is the same thing. If governors are doing their bit, you will also not feel the impact, how negative it is of the federal government in the educational sector.
Okay.
Come to roads. How about the trunk A roads, which will blame federal government? The usual access roads, the interland roads that can make farmers ferry their goods to the market, reduce cost of feeding and all that. The governors can also address that and also whittle down the effect of the federal government's malaise. So you see, it's like when you have a bad government at the central, the multiplier effect will be more if at the sub-national levels, the governors, the local government chairman, where we even have them, are not able to make up for the lapses of the federal government. So it is governance, not just at federal, at all ramifications. Let's even come to the issue of security. Security is federal government, we know, but we must also ask ourselves the truth. Like I said elsewhere, we keep blaming federal government for security lapses. The state governors are actually not, they're just chief security officers in name. But we also know that if you are pragmatic, that the state government that collects so much as security votes can do more than he's saying, without having to say it in public. I know that if state governors spend the money they have as security votes the way it should be spent, the brigade commanders, the various security outfits here will not wait for Abuja before they do what is needed to be done. It's when the state governors do not spend the security votes because they do it so accountable to anybody. They don't use for the security that is meant. That is why we have this breakdown everywhere. Look, they say that the government is screaming everywhere. If the money they collect, if they deploy it and they spend it on the security people in their state, they will not bat an eye. They will not wait for a command from Abuja. They can even without promoting disobedience, they can defy others from Abuja that are negative in nature. The governors were talking about their CSOs and their aide camp that serve them. Are they not taken care of? Why have they not rebelled again? Who commands them? So these are things we must talk about. Government, we are being pragmatic, but some of us look for excuses here and there to blame the federal government, and then when federal government has failed as it is now, we do not want to step in and make up the difference.
Okay.
That is why we are having this problem. So it's leadership. We can profile other sectors and all that before my colleague will say something, but I believe it's leadership, and leadership in all spheres, not just federal. That is why if you ask me, I've said in the other fora, all those bandits restructuring and the rest, it's just soundbite. If you restructure Nigeria tomorrow and you bring premiers back, you cannot reincarnate Awolowo to come back. You cannot have Awolowo reincarnation as a premier the way it did for Western region. You cannot have Makubara as you had in the Eastern region. Leadership has failed. If you will create 10 states from Edo State, the governors will not be different from the governors we've had in other states in the country. Delta State, the same thing. If you create Delta States, if you make Isoko a state, you see you have somebody there that will be keen. The same House of Rep member that have been in Isoko, that have been representing Isoko for the past 15 years or 20 years, the person who will still angle to be a governor. The same person who will be commissioner for 20 years. So the same people who become governors become commissioners. So where will you have it? So that's the way about restructuring all those big grammars some of us speak. As a professional, as a lawyer who's trained, I know that some of these things are just for those who want to create little empires for themselves. Let us address governance at all levels. Even the way it is now, we can have good governance if we have the right people there.
Okay. We'll come back to you, Prof. First at all, now, you need to elaborately comment on this issue. Now, Nigeria, need to reposition Nigeria is the topic. The way Nigeria is now, it is believed that Nigeria can be greater. What's your take?
From the national anthem, you will know that Nigeria is a great nation.
Okay.
We that are here today deliberating on this issue, as the Prof will say, is leadership. At the 21st century, we are still talking about the premier, talking about let us go back
to regions.
To regions. That is not the problem. That is not the solution. We should not leave the object and be running after the shadow. What we have now at hand is what we'll manage with. The need to reposition Nigeria is a State not part of Nigeria. Before I stepped into the studio, we went for that place. I will tell you, I went to the government house. There's a difference there now. Before now, is a marketplace where you see Ghana must go flying everywhere. You see people who say, I want to come.
Look,
let me tell you. Yes, let me tell you. What we've seen in Edo State now is leadership.
Okay.
And if you don't have it, you can't give it. Somebody say, are you in PDP now? I say, no. The time to politics, we all know the party we belong to.
Yes.
Now is Edo State, it's leadership. The last election has shown to Nigeria that Edo is really the heartbeat. You can see that the people came out and they voted. Not only voted, they voted for who they believe is better off. And today, what we are seeing, the money that was taken to various pockets, various individuals, without shooting a gun, the governor succeeded in disarming the cabals. Without a gun, just a policy. And today, Edo State is among the states, before 30th of every month, pensioners and workers have been paid. For years, that have not been celebrated. And the governor is not loud about it. I don't want to talk about my sector. I will tell you that in the civil service now, they are retraining, repositioning, recruiting. And that is what we need in a developing society. They should be acquainted with the latest technology. Yeah. They should know what is in vogue. Yeah. It's not everybody holding phones. When we know in this country, when we were queuing to make calls, when we know in this country some leadership said telephone is not it's luxury. But today, everybody has not even 1 line, 2, 3, 4 lines.
Yeah.
Your children have phones. So Nigeria will get to that stage.
Nigeria will get to that stage. I will interject. I will come back. But we're going to take a break now. And after that, Fosa Ato will continue. Okay, nice to have you back. Fosa Ato, yes, you said Nigeria need to be repositioned. You want to elaborate more?
Yeah. Where I stopped, at the time, generator, for you to have a generator was like, oh, you are a big man, is a luxury. Today, even somebody living in one room has a giant. Nobody thought of the pollution. Nobody talked about the hazard. But it is not for everybody. Now we are not saying green revolution. The cars we are using is polluted. The kind of sickness you see in the urban area now is not in the rural area. If you travel to the rural area, if you stay in the farm, you hardly cough because the air there you breathe in is pure. We that were having trees, the way we now use interlock with no guiding at home again. Everywhere is interlocked. Sometimes in your compound you will put these artifacts. There is we think we are undoing or is a better way of living. But now we've destroyed the ecosystem. Nothing is working. And we are saying, let us do this. Let us do that. I will say this clearly. Leadership in one side and attitude. The president said the change cannot start from policy making. The change should start from your bedroom. Why is it from your bedroom? Is because the society tells us that the small unit of a society is a family.
Yeah.
And once the family is set to act positively, genuinely, it comes out to the society. You look at it. As my lecturer one time, one Professor Okpokuno in sociology and anthropology, he said, the tie Prof is using, he said, somebody called it a tie and they call it fashion. But the true story is rope.
Really a rope now.
He said it's a rope. He said if you lose it and you use the tie firewood, it will hold it. So it is what we give to the society that becomes what the society gives back to us.
Yeah.
And if at this point we are saying, let us reposition Nigeria. I told somebody, I said, Edo State is the heartbeat. And we know if the heart is working, if the engine is working, everything will work well.
Yeah.
And Edo State now, we are not there yet, but we are going there. We are now in the right direction. Before you have somebody who will tell you I'm a politician. Now nobody is bearing that name again.
How do you mean?
No, nobody is bearing that name because when you say you're a politician and you are not giving, everybody will abandon you. Before you go to somebody's house, you see youth, 50, 40, they will just be there smoking, eating, drinking, doing nothing, waiting. Okay, this is happening. Oh, everybody will run there. But now, the politician will tell them, you see the government now, there is no allocation, there is no money, there is no revenue. So you people should try and do something for yourself. Everybody has gone to what he knows now better, he's not doing. That is leadership. So you will not see that when election, we are entering 2022.
Yeah.
The drum of who will succeed the president, the House of Assembly, the drum is coming up now.
Yeah.
And you see activities is coming. Like in Edo State now, where we now know that money cannot give you victory, but character and determination. Convince the people that you can do it. And that is what the governor is doing. I will provide leadership. You will judge my stewardship. Nobody will go there and tell you, take money, take brown envelope. I will tell you this. I don't go for it. But those who are going will tell you there is no brown envelope.
In the government house?
No brown envelope. Every money there, you work for it. That is a passmark to Mr. Governor. Okay. And we are praying that whoever will succeed him should come up in this kind of terms. Everybody wants to eat fish. But the truth story is that everybody wants you to teach him how to fish. And once a politician knows that, a politician is not a title, it's a service to humanity. If you are coming to say you want to add value, render services, you should not be paid for. A hungry man cannot play politics. A self-made man, yes. And enlightened and educated person, yes, can play politics, because your conscience cannot be bought.
Okay.
You cannot be influenced, you cannot be induced by money. As Prof will say it, every sector is rotten. For you to go to the government hospital to see the doctor, you will tip. For you to come and take your regular checkup, you will see the nurse. For you to admit your son, you will see the teacher. It's not the police that is corrupt, but the system. Even you are going to see the clergy in the church, you will see drop. God bless you, my brother.
Drop?
Okay, you will give tip.
Okay.
You know what is tip?
American.
Yes, because you see
yes.
in our society, I will thank you, the anchor man. God will continue to bless you.
Amen.
The owner of this station, I wish him all the best, long life, so that we'll celebrate him more. Okay. Because he has made Edo people. These are the what you said need to reposition Nigeria.
Yeah.
The man in his age, since 45 years or almost 50 years.
Yes, some of Benin.
Yes, yes, some of Benin. I will say this. He has contributed in repositioning Nigeria, not Edo. And we the Edo people are proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm not here to sing his praises, but his praises is in the lips of every Nigerian, not Edo person alone. We call him Esamanoge. I wish him all the best, long life, because we need people like this to remain, so that they will see and know that Nigeria that they dreamt of.
Yeah, can be
because
achieved.
if Nigeria is not a place where somebody like Esama will grow and be known all over the world, he would have not been in Benin. Let me not praise him. It's not about him here, but I will say this. We need people like him, like we, the younger generation. We are looking up to them to bring same leadership to this state. We are not running out. I will not. We've done that before. We are back again to tell people that, look, it is not greener there. It's snow there. It's heat there. There's COVID there.
Yeah, you were in Italy.
Yes, I traveled.
Okay, Allah, you are back to Nigeria.
Yes, now we not only Italy, we traveled all around.
Yeah.
But it's not greener anywhere. Even America and Canada.
Yeah.
If you don't work there, you don't have money. It's only Nigeria you will not work and the envelope will be landing. And today the repositioning is there, that every money you spend, you can see the ministers. If it's before, you see minister, you visit a minister, I don't want to call the name.
Yeah.
He will not offer you water. He will not offer you drink. People say it's stingy. Are you there to go and drink or go and eat? You are there to submit whatever suggestion you think is proposal.
Yeah.
So if you are making a request, it is not. So if Nigeria now knows that, Nigerians knows that it is not about who gives you food, it's who teach you
How to catch fish.
how to catch fish. And with the new reshuffle of cabinet, it affected my business as the minister, because I have the plans of seeing the minister of Agric. You know, you cannot be there and you are not giving the necessary results.
Yeah.
And if for that reason, the Mr. President is doing well, you see, it's only, you cannot change a winning team.
Okay.
And once that change has been made, they should look other ministers who are not performing.
Okay.
They should do same, because Nigerians is blessed with knowledge. There are people who will mount there. He affected to the agriculture and power. So, you know, I will say this: if government is continuous, no matter, don't let us remove politics. Let us fish the person that can really deliver. If he's in YPP or whatever, bring him on board. And that is why you see our famous general, Madabasi Babangida, when you see his achievement when he was in power, he used the best brains. And you can see his achievement. And I want other leadership who have who have been given the opportunity,
yeah.
yes, to act. They should look for the best and put them there. And the way Nigerian is being repositioned, let me tell you, we are not saying it now. The repositioning has already started its effect. When Mr. President said, grow what you eat, I blocked the border, rice, stop. Assuming that move was not made at that time, Nigerians resisted it. But who is not enjoying it now? Nigerians are enjoying it. So when you are making a policy, you check it. Very soon now, the rice, those who were importing rice, they were not taking it to Nigeria. They were taking it to a neighboring country, Benin. How can you bring 4 ships? They would dock
in Benin.
Discharge. In less than 2 weeks, those rice have been smuggled into this Nigeria. We will say this foreign rice, this foreign rice. I'll tell you, it's going to 3 years now. I've not eaten foreign rice. Sometimes those rice, where they stock it, where they preserved it, some of those rice that bring it to this country, some have spent 5, 10, 15 years. The fresh one, they will not bring it, they will keep it and sell this first and keep that.
But so now we have homegrown rice.
What are you saying? We are eating what we grow. And if we should do same, you are the only one doing it now. You are wearing the Nigerian this thing.
Nigerian attire.
If we can make it, because if we have, that is why you see the late President Nelson Mandela, he said, the year Nigeria get it right, Africa becomes #1. He said it. And the white, our former masters,
yes,
they are still our masters. They still dictate. If they allowed us to develop, you see what is happening in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
America tried to put the Western.
Okay, we'll come back to you. But let's allow Professor Joe Ojo to also make his comments. Now, Prof, we've seen minor cabinet reshuffle.
Yes,
and that happened on Wednesday.
Yes.
Femi, the special advisor, said more to come. That was the word in his words, more to come. Now, the pastor of the form of the church known as Latter Day Saint, that was the former name. He has a new name now. He actually said
Today Bakari.
Today Bakari. He actually said before now that there's need to rejig the cabinet.
Yeah.
And only yesterday we saw that move from Mr. President.
Yeah.
Now, do you think this cabinet under President Buhari should be turned around?
Well, if we want to take that as an issue now, I would say yes, it needs to be rejigged.
Okay.
Ideally, every 2 years, if you try and tinker your cabinet, that's why we're a little bit shocked that he kept them for 4 years in his first term, and then what still he recycled most of them for the second term, and so some ministers are doing 6 years now. If you had some ministers who were governors, 8 years as governors, 6 years as ministers, some are still there. They may end up doing 16 years in public service with nothing to show for it. So they need to rejig it. Like I mentioned before, you should start with the Minister of Defense and the Minister of Internal Security, whatever Internal Affairs, because the security state in this country is a terrible state.
And it is believed that without security, no development.
No development. All this was about repositioning the health sector, economic sector, farming. I'm glad they're still able to farm with the current situation of this country.
Yeah.
These things cannot work without security. You just have to be shut down. Our students there have to be shut down. Some were even caught in the crossfire, some were killed. People went to go to school. They're missing in school now, but they are at home because of insecurity. If you can fire state, you just heard about some students have been kidnapped from the school also. So very some people start running away from school and all that. So that is a sector that needs to be manned by people who are proactive, who are competent. And I think that is the first thing you should look at. Then with all due respect, the Minister of Health too, who is our brother, he should look at that area very closely. Maybe he needs to put somebody there to support it, if not outright redeployment, because what is happening in the health sector is very embarrassing. I must say that, because we must accept the truth. So it's a sector that needs to be looked at. For doctors to be on strike over 1 month, NMA is threatening, and then it cannot be handled. Minister of Labour, who is doing hot and cold every now and then.
Minister of Labour is even a medical doctor.
Of course, he is. Yes, it's true. He is. And then because he's Minister of Labour, he handles all sectors, both academic and education and all sectors. Any industrial crisis, he's not been doing very well because he's lacked that candor of arbitration. Every small thing you rush to court, try to coerce workers. You can't coerce workers to go to work or not to go on strike. So without having to mention names, which a lot of us try to avoid, I think there are some sectors that need to go the way of rejigging. Especially those who have spent more than 4 years. These ministers I mentioned now were there in the first and they've done 2 years now. And so 6 years should be enough ordinarily for somebody to man a ministry. Why not allow somebody else to come with some fresh ideas? Like people like Fashula and the rest, they are spent. So bring some fresh eggs, fresh heads.
Fashula is now having grey hair.
Grey hair that he didn't even have as a governor. So you can imagine that even the entire anybody that was in that cabinet at this first time should go. If I want to be a cash blanche, I can retain those who came on board freshly. The Minister of Finance, you see from Mikoje Wala down to Kemi Adesina to this woman, you see the curve is too deep for me. You need somebody stronger there. We have brilliant Nigerians in the economic sector. People who are strong like this. CBN governor is trying. But if we have somebody in the Ministry of Finance who is able to work with the CBN governor, synergize with him, you see some of the policies that are killing our economy every day, for which the naira is dipping down every day, and then we can plug them. You see, the foreign reserves can be removed. There are a lot of things you can put in place for those who are in that field, not my field though. But you see, it's all about restructuring, not in terms of the restructuring of states and regions and some political
gladiators,
I would say, but restructuring the cabinet itself. And then let me also address an issue that maybe flows from what my friend my brother has talked about. You see, the issue of leadership again should be a challenge for us who want to lead, that we should come with some altruistic intention, you know. If you, like I talked about the issue of when you get to power, what do you want to do with it?
Yeah.
Is it to lead or just to aggrandize yourself? And so for us, in other forum or fora, we have made this very clear. There's a need to look at the purpose of offices. You see, our members of the National Assembly, what they take home by way of emolument is unreasonable. So those who are looking at the constitutional reforms, amendment too, because leadership starts from the enabling the laws and policies that you put in place. So let us work towards, hopefully it may not be now, to have part-time legislators. They should be paid per sitting. So that those who go there to go and sleep and snore, and those who conveniently avoid being at the plenary when crucial issues like voting for electronic voting will conveniently be absent. If they were pay as you go, like our recharge card, pay per sitting, they will sit up. So why give somebody 15 million or 20 million as a claim? Those have not verified that to come and just while away time. So if a man wants to serve, if a man wants to make laws, he wants to contribute, he should go there because he believes he wants to, not because of what he gets there. And nobody gets there. So if you place them on regular salary like every public servant, pay them like every public servant, let them go and make laws for us. Same thing for the governors, chairman, and all that. Even the ministers too. Let those who come to public service be people who want to serve, and not people who want to go there and amass certain levels of some layers of comfort through the same taxpayers' money. And so once we can address that first and foremost, people who go there, people who think straight. Because you need a man who thinks straight, a man who is focused, a man who knows his onions, to be able to set out policies that will galvanize development. And then for those who are at the level of implementation, the same requirements, the mental focus, the intellect, the experience, of course, the moral candor, all these go together. Because like I said, it's not the paper, it's not the constitution that's the problem with Nigeria, it's not the Nigerian map, it's not the state's government area or what have you, it is the personnel.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Now, way forward. If Nigeria must become great, Nigeria must be repositioned, what are the factors we should be looking at?
One of the factors is to tell ourselves the truth. We've inherited lies and it has not led us anywhere. We should tell ourselves the truth. I'm looking at a country when a father will call the police and say, arrest my son, he's a thief. Arrest my wife, he's a thief. Arrest my father, he's a thief. That is why you see in the Western world is developed. But when we keep on hiding our wounds, we are trying, he's my son. How do you want me to? they will put this adage that they said in Benin, you can give birth to a bad child, but you cannot kill a bad child. But we have, I thank Mr. President for changing it from prisons to correction center. So you can take your child or your wife or whatever to a correction center, no longer a prison, because that name prison, because for years it has been there. Prof, you can agree with me. We've had Prof who were president. You know, they could not change it. But you see, now you call it correction. You can see those working there. You see on their vest, correction center. Let us take our children there who are deviantly oriented, because the society has defined who is good and who is bad. And if you have it in your house, put a call. Let the police do their job. You go to the police, you go to the police station, you see mothers begging, you want to have that? I beg, bring my son. The son you will build today, tomorrow he commit another crime. And why will he be in the society? That is where the correction center should be. It's just like in the university. Everybody want to write job, everybody want to be in university. The university, you go in, you come out. It's only those who know why they are there. They are the people working in the society today. And to me, I will say this very clearly.
Closing remarks now.
Yes. Parents.
Yes.
It is about the family. The country has expanded. We should go back to the family and let our parents, don't allow our job to be run by the church, the teachers, and the prayer group. And once we, the parents, play our part, the children will resist all these temptations that they are falling into. And I'll go by what the Torah or the Bible says. It said, train up a child in the way he should grow. When he's old, he will not depart from it.
Thank you.
And that is my position.
Thank you very much. Time is not our friend. Prof, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Efosa Toy, thank you very much. And my viewer, I hope you've enjoyed this week's edition of the program. Need to reposition Nigeria is what we've been commenting on. And we are very proud to be Nigerians. We hope that Nigeria will be catapulted to higher heights. On that note, thanks for being a part of the show. Bye-bye.